to echo a point that you made earlier, there's not a lot of guns in this movie, which I was surprised by, honestly. Yeah, like even in the last, big action set sequence, where he goes for vengeance on all of his foes. I was expecting him to show up like locked and loaded with all of his gear, but he
Hmm.
doesn't. And I honestly was a
Yeah.
little concerned for him. Like, oh, were you prepared for this? Did we think through this? Because that is maybe the more efficient route, but I love that the film is leaning into our protagonist's creativity and also his skill now that he has been trained in to know to go, no, we're not going to do like the big shootout sequence that, we often get in a lot of modern action movies, but there's a greater level of dedication needed to the choreography that Dev Patel and team have committed to make that final set piece really exciting.
I think there's also something to uh, having action movies that aren't centered on America or Americans.
Mm,
I love a good murder mystery. I love a good like cop procedural, especially those that take place in like the UK or other parts of Europe, because you don't have shootouts in those, just
mm,
because the access to guns is very different in those countries. And I don't know what it's like in India. I have not done my research, but I think there is something to watching action movies that are centered around people in a different nation, just because the types of weapons that are available and the types of fighting styles are so different from place to place. And so I'm hoping that we get to see more diverse action stories like this, just because it'll be more exciting and interesting visually, auditorially, just because
mhm.
of what they have access to.
Yeah, no, that's so true. That's so true. And I think, like we've mentioned in the past, that's the beauty and the power of elevating artists that are from diverse backgrounds and from underrepresented groups and have different lived experiences, is that the the storytelling and the pieces that they create give us insight, perspective, windows into other worlds beyond the ones that we've seen already that have been made.